On January 1st, 2013, the Fort Wayne Housing Authority implemented a smoking ban on government subsidized housing, or commonly known as the projects of housing. 5 years later, in 2018, the nationwide ban went into effect. However, I must make this disclosure that I am a Fort Wayne Housing Authority Housing Choice Voucher. To avoid any perceived or potential conflict of interest, I will not be reporting or commenting personally on the public housing smoking ban. Instead, I'm going to do other apartment complexes that have smoke-free bans. It is not uncommon to see no smoking signs in public areas. In August 2018, smoking in public housing was banned, yet it did not include vaping. Yet, in one particular apartment complex in Fort Wayne, Hunt Club Apartments, a fire on April 2nd, 2022 was caused by a cigarette. The fire caused damage to 50 dwelling units. According to Fort Wayne Fire Department Deputy Chief Adam O'Connor, in an interview with WANE-TV 15, the April 2022 fire was almost identical to another fire at the end of March 2008, as well as another fire in June 2007. In a few communities in Florida and California, particularly Boca Raton and Fresno, those cities have banned smoking and vaping at apartment complexes. At the Courtland Boca Raton, smoking and vaping is banned on the property. Tenants there have to sign a non-smoking clause in their lease. Violators there will get a warning, followed by a fine, and a possible eviction. Meanwhile, in Fresno, apartment complexes there have designated outdoor smoking areas and prohibit smoking inside individual dwelling units. Yet those tenants are still allowed to smoke in their patios and balconies. Could an apartment complex smoking ban in Fort Wayne, Indiana be a reality? In part one of this Ava Zinn Wants to Know investigation, I spoke to Fort Wayne City Councilman Glenn Hines and Tobacco-Free Allen County Executive Director Nancy Kripe about this.
Other than public places and restaurants, in your own private home, no. I don't think there should be any rule against people smoking privately in their own residence per se, but anything public where the public is able to congregate, I think, and I support, as we now have smoking ban.
The whole principle behind having smoke-free air policies, whether they're in housing or whether they're in, public places and private businesses, wherever they are, the whole point of them is to protect the health of the people living there or working there or doing business there. It's to say, we want to create and maintain and protect a healthy environment for folks. And I think that's important. Yeah. In the same way that we wouldn't, like in a restaurant, you're not allowed to do things that are unsanitary, right? Because it would be to the risk of public health. Like, workers in a restaurant, there's all kinds of regulations if you're in a restaurant, right? And they're all about protecting the health of people so they don't come there and get sick. It's the same kind of principle.
Just to be clear, there are currently no such apartment complex smoking and vape free ordinances in Fort Wayne. Yet in non-public apartment complexes, there are no such laws or ordinances. That is because of stiff opposition from the Apartment Association of Fort Wayne. I also went to various apartment complexes in Fort Wayne about the possible smoking ban in apartment complexes. And I went to what was then the Chapel Hill Apartments on the near southeast side of Fort Wayne. And the request for an interview was denied. Or should I say, request for an on-camera interview was denied. I also went to an apartment complex near the Kroger on West State Boulevard, and I managed to get 1 out of 4 on-camera interviews. Do you think the smoking ban at apartment complexes are effective?
Yeah.
Do you agree with a total smoking ban at apartment complexes?
They shouldn't do it. They should quit. Oh, it's good.
Okay. If you were in a dwelling or apartment unit with someone who smokes, and that particular tenant was outside smoking, would you feel comfortable by telling them to move away from the door or not smoke?
Quit smoking, yeah.
Do you see any positives or negatives of the smoking ban in apartment complexes?
Do it all the time, everywhere.
One of the primary reasons for the smoking ban is basically the health of fellow apartment complex residents.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
They need to quit.
Okay.
All of them, yeah. Drinking and smoking, they need to quit.
I went to the Apartment Association of Fort Wayne for a request for an on-camera interview in person. But the doors were locked on my visit. As previously mentioned, I did reach out to various apartment complexes for comments and or requests for an interview. And they were denied. And as I previously mentioned at the start of this story, that I am a Fort Wayne Housing Authority Housing Choice Voucher client, and to avoid any perceived or potential conflict of interest, I was not going to comment personally on the public housing smoking. I'm Ava Zinn reminding you to help control your child's education, have them immunized. May Fort Wayne's good news be yours.